This is Kathy Oliver from Stampin' from the Heart.15. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am in Glendale, Arizona, and would always love to have your business if you are ever in need of any Stampin' Up! Products. So the first thing I'm going to show you today is the Cherry on Top paperwork. This is a wonderful paper pack that has lots of beautiful designs in it that you can do birthday cards, all kinds of greeting cards, all kinds of colors. It's just absolutely beautiful to add to your collection. You could also add some of the bright colors, solids to that. This is a card that we're going to be making. It's with Tip Top Taupe. It's called Woohoo! Knew you could, knew you would. And here's the collection, the stripes, what my model one there is for, and then the little one in the background is just a real light little flick of a dot in there. It's just really, really cute. So it's also, of course, in that collection. The stamps that I'm going to be using is called Bravo. It's got some nice big bold greetings in it. You can get lots of great ideas for cards with that. The cardstock that we're going to be using today is just your basic black, and we're just going to be scoring it down the middle and then cutting it in half, and then you'll have two card bases. Alright, the stamp colors today is Tip Top Taupe, that's one of our new colors, and Basic Black, both by Stampin' Up. Great products. We're also going to be using one of the decorative punches today. I'll stamp the Woohoo on there and then we'll cut it out twice. I also wanted to talk to you a little bit about spray and taking care of your stamps. We have our Stampin' Mist, your blocks, some snail glue, whatever kind of glue you'd like to use to put your things together. There's always lots of options when you're crafting. So again, this is layered. You've got a white, whisper white in the background, your stripe on the top, and then your inside. I always like to layer something on the inside versus leaving it plain. So there I said, so happy for you. So to get started, we have our black basic cardstock there. So you would score it across the middle, fold it, and then cut it in half. And then you'd have two card bases, and those would be 5.5 by 4.25. So we'll lay that aside. We'll use that in just a moment. The inside is going to be that little strip of white paper, but right now I'm going to go ahead and take my basic black and the Woohoo stamp, and I'm going to ink it up, and I'm going to stamp it once on the white paper, but I'm going to cut it out two separate times. So again, gently on that ink pad. You want to get the ink on there, but you don't want to flood it. Straight up and straight down. Give it a second to absorb into your paper, and there you go. That really is beautiful. There's no bleeding on that at all. It is just really nice and smooth. You do want to give it just a second to dry. Now here is the decorative label punch. So I'm going to punch it out once, get it centered there, kind of hold it a little bit, make sure you got it where you want it. Give it a squeeze and it'll pop out. Stick it in there and give it a good squeeze, and then it pops out. So now you can put those things away. One of the things that I like to use is our Stampin' Up! Dimensionals. They are made like a octagon, so they're not real square, so they go into lots of neat corners and niches really, really well. They're thin, but yet they do give some dimension to what you're doing. I'm going to peel those little papers off, and then I'm actually going to put those two pieces together. That's going to give it just a nice little almost 3D look when you look at your card from the side. It's really cute. I do that sometimes when I do something small like that. I'm going to go ahead and put my black ink away so that I don't get anything on me or anything where we don't want it. Alright. Now moving on to the card, I'm going to go ahead and stamp that front piece called Knew You Could, Knew You Would. And we're going to use the Tip Top Taupe. I want to make sure that I get that nice and centered. I've already got it mounted there on my block. I just really love these new inks. This Tip Top Taupe is such a beautiful color, very different from anything that we've had before. Ink it up good. Looks like there's a little spot there that needed a little bit more. Leaning over just a little bit, let's make sure we get it nice and straight. There we go. Beautiful. Really, really cute. I'm going to set that aside. This card goes together really quickly. Not a lot to it, but it's just really, really cute. Now we're going to work on the inside. Yep, I'm going to do the stamp that is so happy for you. And I'm going to stamp that on the white card that goes inside. Just lightly get our ink on there so that we don't have any spots that don't go on well. Press it down. Up, and look there. The U on the end of it didn't do very well. You know what? That happens sometimes, but that's okay because this is nice thick cardstock. We can just flip it over, ink up the stamp again, and make sure we get all those little nooks and crannies coated really well. Get it lined up and stamp it down. There we go. That's really, really pretty. Like I've said before, I really enjoy that ink. We just need to make sure we give it a chance to dry. Now we're going to just go ahead and adhere that little red strip, and look at that. Isn't that cute? It's got some pieces of birthday cake on it, which is what's so neat about this collection. There's all kinds of patterns and things that you can pick one side or the other, but you could just make card after card after card with this one pack of paper, and then just buy some solids from Stampin' Up! To go with the different colors that are in it. Now we're going to go ahead and actually work on the front of our card, and we're going to adhere that Knew You Could, Knew You Would. This particular card I'm using glue. Sometimes I'll use the snail. You can really use whatever you would like, whatever you have, whatever you feel most comfortable with. It's just mainly more important about lining things up straight and getting things where you want it. You can move it a little bit with the glue, but it does adhere pretty quickly. Now look at there. See, look at that red. Isn't that cute? All those pieces of cake. We'll do a birthday card another day. For now, let's just continue on with this more neutral one. So again, using the glue, flip it over. Now we're just going to make sure that we center it right in the middle of that. This paper is cut pretty tight. I didn't leave that background very large at all. That white base is 5 3/8 by 4 1/8, and the taupe piece is 5 1/4 by 4. So not a lot of excess anywhere. And where I did the, you can't see through anything with that paper. It all works really well. Now here we just have some black baker's twine. I cut that about 28 inches or so. I'm just going to hold it to the side, wrap it around the card 2 times, and then we're just going to tie a bow on the front. Just make sure that you get under all of it and tie it all the way through versus just tying that top string together. Hold it taut, make your bow, make sure you get it straight. It wants to walk on you pretty easily, and then it ends up being too loose, so you really need to kind of hold it down there with that finger. And then once we get the bow tied, we'll just trim off the ends. So that's just there, but not overpowering on the card whatsoever. So just adjust it until you get it how you think it looks good. I always like to add a little bit of bling or string or ribbons or something to the cards to decorate them up a little bit. It adds a nice touch. Alright, now the woohoo is dry. We're just going to take some more dimensionals and add that to the top of the card. Again, giving it very much of a depth and dimension to the card. Makes it really pop up off of the card base. Those are sticky, sticking to my fingers, but they work really, really well. So getting the back of them off, sometimes you can use your finger or some kind of a little piercing tool, whatever works best for you. I typically find my fingernails work just good. Then you can kind of place this wherever you'd like it. It's kind of up there in the top left corner. Isn't that cute? I just love that woohoo. Just really, really fun. Okay, now we're just going to go ahead and adhere that to the front of our card. I'm using glue here again. You can use whatever you would like. Get a good amount on there, but you know, don't overdo. You don't want it to squirt out the edges or anything, but just give it a nice coating. These cards go together so quickly and they're so fun and they mean so much to friends and family when they get something that's handcrafted from you. There's plenty of cards certainly that you can buy at the store, but when you take something that's made from the heart, people just really, really love those, and they'll display them on their counters, their desks, their dressers for quite some time. Okay, now we're just going to add the, oops, see, there's the oops. No one's going to see it. We're just going to put that baby face down and forget that we ever made that. Go ahead and adhere that, and we are almost done. This is really quick and easy. You can sit and make one of these, you know, a few minutes before you're out the door, if you're going somewhere and someone in need, and you just made them a really, really nice card. So there's plenty of room there for you to write your sentiment. Thank you so much for watching. And then there's a couple of other cards now. Now there's two from the Tip Top Taupe. My earlier video, we showed the colorful collection from the same cherry on top, hip hip hooray on the inside, different colors on the front. So watch for that video if you'd like. And then I'm going to be doing another video sometime soon with some scraps from this particular collection. And then the Ronald McDonald cupcake and candle set that I can talk about at another date. And then the Happy Birthday is from a different collection. Then on the inside, I did some banners. I did some embossing there, double heart and a little banner there inside. So we'll talk about that on a later date. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to chatting with you next time.